is that losing?
Yeah, it's that's tough. I feel so bad for Chris. I know he's had a couple of hand surgeries before, I believe. I think it was on the other hand, but yeah, I saw him holding it and instantly was worried, and so just got the word after walking off the floor. So I feel terrible for Chris, and obviously guys will step up and be ready to play, and we've got to hold down the fort without him.
Clay had two pretty large defensive plays kind of in that final minute. Just take me through that sequence and just how big it was.
I thought Clay was really good tonight, and especially on a night when he didn't shoot it well. I just loved his approach, his energy, his defense down the stretch. As you said, Bogdanovich looked like he had an open three, and then Clay, took away the three and made a big play there, and that helped seal the game.
Steve, what do you think made this game so hard? Was it a hangover from last night, or what do you think made it so difficult for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really proud of the guys it was a tough grind. First of all, Detroit has played well the last couple of weeks. They took Boston to overtime last week, took Utah to overtime the other day. So they're playing way better than they were a couple of weeks ago. And with the back-to-back coming off that brutal loss last night, that was emotionally draining. So this was a tough game, and I'm proud of the guys for grinding it out.
Surprised at all about the turnovers and the number of points you gave them off turnovers?
Yeah. The turnovers surprised me. We've been taking great care of the ball lately, but the fatigue, I think, played a role in that.
With CP out, I know it's early, but usually Corey gets time when one of those guys isn't available, or could Brandon or someone else play some point, or have you started to think at all about how you deal with this?
Yeah. Both Brandon and Corey will play more at the point, and so probably brings Moses also back into the rotation, because you're replacing 30 minutes from Chris. So we won't replace all those minutes with one guy. We'll probably spread them out. But I'm excited to get Moses back out there. I thought he was great tonight. He brought a lot of energy. Great to hear the fans chanting his name. He's a fan favorite for a reason. He plays hard, and being out of the loop the last few games has been tough on him, but he always stays ready. So I'm excited to get him back in there.
When you brought Chris back into the starting lineup, you talked about wanting to get Steph off the ball more, and then obviously with Draymond also out for however much longer, you lose another playmaker. So I guess it's kind of following up on that last question of just how difficult is it going to be to make up for losing all of this playmaking, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. Chris is an all-time great, and he's fit right in to our team and made life so much easier on not only on Steph, but he's really kind of captained that second unit, which has been a real strong suit for us this year. So, we're going to miss him in both lineups.
Steve, JK was obviously frustrated with the way last night went. Responded tonight. He was a plus 16, gave you some solid minutes. How did you think he handled what happened last night and rebounded in this game?
I thought he played well tonight, and he's a young guy and he wants to play, and I just told him everybody wants to play, and we've got a lot of guys who can play. So every night's going to be a little different. I think last night Wiggs finished the game. Tonight JK did, and I thought he did a really good job. He moved the ball well. He guarded both Cunningham and Bogdanovich, and he played a good, solid game. Marcus, you look bored back there. You playing video games or?
No, I was looking at the transcription of these excellent quotes you did.
All right, fair enough. All right, see you guys.
I'm sure that's got to feel good after what happened last night. I mean, how difficult was it for you yesterday after this game just to sort of get ready for this one and then,
Well, obviously, last night he had a tough shot at the end, but that's what's great about the NBA. You play 2 to 3 days max, and so being able to just come back out, rinse that from our bodies, get a win, a much-needed win that we needed to get back on track. It's great. It feels good, but we got to keep working.
Hi, Trace. Janie, nice to see you. We just found out that Chris Paul broke his left hand. I'm guessing you just found out as well. And just, he's meant so much to both units. How do you guys pick up the slack, and so to speak, until he's ready to go? And he's having surgery next week.
Yeah, I feel for him. But at the same time, it's next man up, and something that Chris never loses his voice. And so being on the bench, being able to talk to us, that's one of his biggest attributes, and that's something that he won't lose. He'll still be invested in the game, and I feel for him.
Trace, I'm sure you heard the crowd cheering for Moses when he got in the game, and just what do you think of that moment, and how much do you think that meant to him?
It's great for Moses. Every time he comes out there, he plays as hard as he can. But just him getting in, bringing energy for our team when we needed it, it was great, and hopefully we see more of it.
Trace, I'm sorry if you were asked this before, but you work with CP a lot, obviously. How difficult, what challenges does that present now with him out? Because you guys have relied on him so much to kind of spark and lead that second unit.
Yeah, with CP, he's such a big part of our team. But at the end of the day, it's always next man up mentality. And then what I was saying to them is his voice will still be there. He's one of the vocal leaders on our team, so that's something that we'll still rely on heavily as he goes through his rehab process.
What do you think made you guys able to kind of close it out late tonight?
Stephen Curry.
How about Clay's defense?
Yeah, I think defensively, I think, when we needed stops under that 2-minute mark, we got it. But offensively, Steph did his thing, and we won.
Chris fractured his left hand. Steve says he's going to rely more on you, on Corey, Moses. I guess just you were in the starting lineup before. You guys have been shorthanded before, but this kind of just adds on to the list of missing guys. How much more does that make the team need from you and the other guards?
Yeah, I think everybody's just got to step it up a little bit. Gary and Chris are obviously out. Like you said, I was in the starting lineup, so I kind of know how to play with those guys that are going to be in there if I start or Corey starts or whoever he decides to start. I feel comfortable, and maybe I just need to be a little bit more maybe assertive and aggressive, and finding my teammates, but also finding areas for me to score. But it's going to take a collective effort, just like it did tonight. And Corey and Moses gave us a great lift in the third and fourth quarter, and I think it's really what kept us with the lead during that stretch.
How much different is it playing point guard or off the ball? I mean, whether or not you start or maybe you play more point when Steph sits, how does that sort of change the dynamic for you, which spot you play?
It doesn't. I'm a pretty simple guy. If I'm open, I'll shoot it. If I'm not, I pass it. I don't really try to look at the lineup and say, oh, well, this group I need to be this or this group I need to be that. I'm a basketball player. I just try to make the right play every time I have the ball or I don't have it.
Brandon, I'm sure you heard the crowd chanting for Moses tonight, and how much do you think that meant to him, and what do you think of the way he played tonight?
I think it meant a lot to all of us. These past couple games that he hasn't played, he's been, a professional about it. He's continued to, put in the work behind the scenes for when his opportunity was called, and tonight was that night. And although he didn't make a shot, his impact, both defensively and offensively was felt, and it was something that, I felt like we needed. I felt like our team was still kind of feeling that loss from last night, and him and Corey, who didn't play in the game last night, gave us a great energy boost off the bench.
You kind of mentioned it. Well, we're like the last 24 hours, like absorbing that loss and kind of getting this win.
Yeah, it stinks. I think we'll even feel it even tomorrow during our off day that we should have got that one last night. But, everybody woke up this morning and we all got a chance to play basketball, which we all love to do. And why not go out there and try to win? Dropping 2 in a row. Pistons are 3-31. That would look, pretty bad for us, but we felt it. We're going to continue to feel it and just try to bounce back and, keep the winning streak going.